Happy Sabbath, boys and girls. My name is Sister Betula, and I'm here to give you your health tip for today. Do you know that the Bible says our bodies are fearfully and wonderfully made? And what does that mean? Well, it means that your body works really hard to do many tasks. For example, your body works hard to digest your food. It works hard to pump your blood. It works hard to get oxygen all over your body, and it even sends signals from your brain. But did you know that there are a group of invaders that can make our bodies sick? And they are called germs. Some kids think that germs are bugs or cooties or other really gross stuff. But actually, germs are bacteria, viruses, fungi, and protozoa. They can invade plants, animals, or even people, and sometimes they can make you sick. Now, bacteria are tiny one-cell creatures that get nutrients from their environment in order to live. In some cases, that environment is actually a human body. Now, bacteria can produce outside of the body, or they can produce within the body as they cause infections. Some infections that bacteria can cause include things like ear infection, sore throat, even cavities and pneumonia. But do you know that not all bacteria are bad? Some bacteria are good for our body. They help to keep our body in balance. Now, good bacteria live in our intestines, and it helps to help absorb the nutrients from the food that we eat. And it helps to make waste from what is left over. Now, did you know we couldn't make the most of a healthy meal without these very important helpers? What about viruses? What are viruses? Well, viruses need to be inside living cells to grow and produce. Now, did you know that most viruses can't survive very long if they're not inside a living thing like a plant, an animal, or even a person? Wherever or whatever a virus lives in is called a host. When viruses get inside people's bodies, they can spread and make people sick. Maybe you've heard about the most current virus, and that is the coronavirus, better known as COVID-19. Now, viruses can also cause things like chickenpox, measles, the flu, and a whole host of other diseases. Because some viruses can live only for a short time on things like a doorknob or a countertop, we have to be sure that we wash our hands, especially after we've touched these things. Now, once germs invade our bodies, they snuggle in for a really long time, and they gobble up the nutrients and the energy, and they can produce a thing called toxins. And toxins are proteins that act like poison. These toxins can cause symptoms of a whole lot of common infections like fevers and sniffles, rashes, coughing, vomiting, and even diarrhea. Now, how do doctors know what to do? Well, they take a close look at some samples, either looking at your blood or sometimes your pee or even fluid under a microscope. So what can you do to protect yourself? Since most germs are spread through the ear in sneezing or coughing or even in breathing, germs can also spread through our saliva and our sweat and our blood, and they can even pass from person to person. It's very important to wash our hands. Remember that germs fear soap and water. So it's very important that you remember whenever you touch surfaces or doorknobs, whenever you've gone out, that when you cut, as soon as you can, you wash your hands. Now, if you don't have soap and water, I'm I'm sure most of you, your mom and dad, must have somewhere something called hand sanitizers, and that's really used to help keep your hands clean. Now, one final thing before I go. Remember, when you wash your hands, you should wash it for about 15 to 20 seconds. And if you don't know how long that is, I'll give you a clue. You just sing happy birthday. And if you sing the happy birthday song, by the time you're done, you've washed your hands as long as you should. So, boys and girls, I want you to remember today that germs and viruses need to be washed away from our hands, so we need to wash our hands always. Have a blessed Sabbath.